And good evening. The intelligence officer who told News Nation in an exclusive interview that the U.S. government has UFOs in its possession is not the only person making UFO claims. According to the Florida Senator Marco Rubio, others have come forward as well. In another interview you'll see only on News Nation, the top-ranking Republican senator on the Intelligence Committee says other intelligence officials have come forward in secret to Congress alleging first-hand accounts of UFOs, officially known as UAPs.
Rubio is one of the so-called Gang of Eight, someone who is privy to a lot of intelligence that the rest of us don't have, particularly on this issue. And the big takeaway is that he says there are a number of people who are making claims that are similar to what we are hearing from David Grusch.
Senator Marco Rubio, the top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee, confirms exclusively to News Nation that there are others, first-hand witnesses, making similar claims to Grusch's. Rubio says many who've come forward privately with claims about UAPs are in high-level government positions, people entrusted, he says, with important jobs. Rubio couldn't get into any specifics of any claims, citing whistleblower protections, but he did say many of them have come forward risking a lot, fearing backlash. Rubio says the Senate Intelligence Committee owes it to those people to take their claims seriously.
A lot of them are very fearful of their jobs, fearful of their clearances, fearful of their career, and some, frankly, are fearful of harm coming to them.
I'm sitting here at great personal risk and obvious professional risk by talking to you today.
The senator, Senator Rubio, some other senators as well, just wrote part of a major defense bill, and what they wrote in it also seems to add more credibility to David Grusch's claims, right? What can you tell us about part of this defense bill?
Yeah, it was interesting. It's an amendment to a bill, and it basically says that there is going to be consequence for anybody who was working illegally on, and it specifically says here, UAPs or non-Earth exotic origin spacecraft, anyone working to reverse engineer something like that. That language is going to be in a bill text. Now, that in itself, Blake, is really incredible and something that we may not have expected to have seen, a couple of years, even a couple of months ago.
Senator Rubio says Grusch is not the only high-level government official to come forward with these kinds of claims. There are others, he says.
We'll say there are people that have come forward to share information with our committee. I want to be very protective of these people. A lot of these people came to us even before these protections were in the law for whistleblowers to come forward. Some are public figures, and we've heard from them in the past. Others, have not shared publicly. And so we're trying to gather as much of that information as we can. And the reason why I'm being cautious, I'm not trying to be evasive, but I am trying to be protective of these people. Some of these people still work in the government. And frankly, a lot of them are very fearful of their jobs, fearful of their clearances, fearful of their career.
It's just remarkable that he is saying that other whistleblowers have come forward. And what you mentioned, I think, is what really makes this interesting, that these are people with first-hand accounts. Of course, when we had the exclusive with David Grusch, this was information, he's a high-level intelligence officer, but that he was hearing from other colleagues who he worked with. Now Rubio is saying that he is getting first-hand accounts from other high-level officials.
Rubio confirmed firsthand knowledge of people working with or on UAP technology. It is undoubted that our government and our intelligence agencies have sequestered UAP or UFO technologies and have been exploiting them for derivative technologies for decades. And we're seeing multiple nations get on board and start coming forward, including Canada.
If a congressional process needs to go forward, I guess when and how is that likely? The next step?
Yeah,
when are we talking?
The writing's on the wall. I mean, we're going to have public, open congressional hearings that absolutely talk about this with people with direct knowledge. And I think that's really important to earn back the trust of the American public, because this has been corrosive. The over-classification and secrecy about UFOs and what they represent to humanity, that has been corrosive to public trust. Everybody's been saying that.
I got to say, it is fascinating that Senator Marco Rubio, top Republican on the Intelligence Committee, now has come forward and openly talking about this. And as Joe talked about in the defense bill, they are talking about, quote unquote, non-Earth origin or exotic UAP material. It's out there.